Can have a look at the French newspapers now. Florence is with us on set, and the papers are really talking about this meeting, really, aren't they, between the government and trade unions over the embattled steel plant in northeastern France.
That's right, and according to 20 Minutes, this meeting didn't go so well. It says that La Parole est à la défiance on its front page today, and I guess you could translate that as mistrust is in the air. Now, trade unions feel somewhat betrayed by the government, and on the other hand, the government is very pleased with the fact that the jobs at this embattled steel plant called Florange in the northeast of France, the government is happy that these jobs are going to be saved. Now, so it's curious, why are trade unions upset? First of all, they feel like the deal that the government has struck with the steel giant ArcelorMittal is too much in the favor of the steel giant and not so much in the favor of the workers. And mainly, though, they're upset with the way that the government dealt with the situation. They feel that the government dealt with it in a very back and forth way. For instance, last week, the Industrial Recovery Minister, Arnaud Montebourg, he threatened to nationalize the plant to save the jobs. And so this gave somewhat of a false hope to the workers there. In the end, a couple of days later, Prime Minister Jean-Marc Ayrault said there would be no nationalization, struck this deal with ArcelorMittal. And in fact, yesterday, the Prime Minister appeared on television to defend the way that he'd managed the situation.
And several papers suggesting the damage has been done, though,
The damage has already been done, according to several papers, including Le Monde, which talks about the political damage of the Mittal affair. Le Figaro, the right-leaning newspaper, goes even further. It says that the Mittal affair has sparked a crisis within the left, and in their editorial, they say that it's been a real fiasco for the government. It's proof of bad management within the government. I mean, the ministers weren't even on the same page. You had Montebourg saying one thing, the prime minister saying something else. According to Le Figaro, this was a very contradictory way of dealing with it. It seems like the government didn't know where it was going. And on top of this, the government was somewhat insulting for ArcelorMittal because it appeared that they didn't trust the steel giant. So according to Le Figaro, all this really puts into question the credibility of the government.
So the socialists drawing a lot of criticism from the right, but also from the left as well.
That's right. There's an interesting piece in Libération today. It says that a lot of socialists are so fed up with the government that they're considering leaving the Socialist Party. And there's an open letter by a disgruntled socialist member named Michael Muglia. Now, he's actually part of the Socialist Party, and he's also a regional consultant in the Pas-de-Calais region, so in the north, so a region where there are a lot of steel plants. So he's very concerned by the ongoing events, and it seems like this might have been the last straw for him. And he writes an open letter to Harlem Désir, the Secretary General of the Socialist Party, explaining just why he's leaving the party. And he's been a member for 23 years, so it's a long time. He says that he's been deceived, especially in recent months, because he feels like François Hollande isn't keeping the promises he made during his campaign, not only economic promises, but also on social issues. He says the government keeps backpedaling and putting into place policies that aren't truly socialist. And the main thing he says is that the current government doesn't have the courage to be a truly socialist party.
Okay, now the left-leaning Daily Libération, they're looking at something completely different. Unusual cover, but something we can understand
something
at least.
Something we can all understand. It says, yes, we cannabis. So obviously talking about marijuana here. And according to Libération, France is way behind the United States, where 2 states are just about to legalize the use of marijuana. And in their editorial, they say that this is still very much a taboo here in France. And according to Libération, this is really hypocritical on the part of the French government. It should address this issue. And instead, the use of marijuana is done in secret, and therefore people aren't properly informed. The quality of marijuana isn't at all controlled. And so, according to Libération, France is very much behind, and they should actually follow the model that's in the United States.
And finally, Le Parisien, which is aujourd'hui in France, they're taking a look at male fertility in France. It's not very good news, is it?
Not looking very good. Here it is on the front page of Aujourd'hui en France right here. It says that French sperm is losing speed. And this is according to one of the widest studies that's ever been carried out on sperm in France. And it says that the sperm count has gone down by 1/3 in the last 17 years. So that means that the number of sperm cells in semen has gone down by 1/3. Now, according to Le Parisien, the causes for this are unclear for now. And though these statistics are very alarming, it doesn't mean that French men are not fertile. But it does mean that French sperm is becoming somewhat of a rare breed, perhaps an endangered species. And there's a funny cartoon, if you could make light on this, in Le Monde, where you see someone entering a room and he says, what room is this? And it says the endangered species room, and you see a photo of, well, a little drawing of a French sperm alongside the panda bear and the white rhinoceros.
Excellent. Lovely. What a lovely image to see at this time of the morning, Florence. Thanks very much, Florence, with the French newspaper review. Thanks.